Now, needless to say, the alcohol industry is in a degree of shock today after the outright ban announcement by the president overnight. The sector says the development will have a devastating impact that could potentially lead to job losses right across the value chain, including retail. Now, the industry is urging government to review the ban on distribution and transportation to allow each company to manage safekeeping of stock. Joining me now on eNCA is Patricia Pillay. She's the Chief Executive Officer of the Beer Association. Ms. Pillay, good afternoon to you. You've made strong representations before the announcement last night by the President. Do you feel let down? Do you feel ignored by government?
I think we're disappointed in that a more holistic approach hasn't been adopted by government. You know, it's such a critical time for this country, and we really need to work together, and we just really feel disappointed that we've not been heard, in that we are the people that are out there on the field. We have our reps that are out there. We've put out 1,000 patrollers over this festive season, which are reservists that we've brought out that have been sitting at home to go out and visit institutions, look at people that are breaching lockdown rules. So we really have put out a lot as industry to try and support government, but we just feel that we have not been heard.
Were you blindsided by the announcement last night?
We have had one consultation with government yesterday where some of the figures were presented to us. We weren't given an opportunity to question these figures, and we weren't advised that we were going to be locked down. I think that, you know, we have to also consider the healthcare system and the strain that the abuse of alcohol is putting on that. We're not insensitive to that. But I think the other side of this that we need to really look at with government is the fact that a ban does not solve any problems at all that we're facing as a country. All this does is push the market to the illicit market, which already was sitting at over 20% prior to even having COVID. And now it will be pushed right up to 100% again, with people not stopping to drink, but actually just moving to the illicit market.
You talk about a holistic approach. What would have been a better solution, given, Ms. Pillay, that we have a problem with the abuse of alcohol over the past couple of months, don't we?
Yes, absolutely. So, you know, we put forward quite a few proposals, and one of the key issues that we still having challenges with is enforcement. And like I've said, we put our own patrollers out to support the police in each of the stations in the hotspot areas. But we've even said to government, you know, where we can help them with capacitation, if we do need to bring the armies back in, please can we do that? It's difficult for us as the manufacturers, for example, the CEOs of the major manufacturers wrote to every one of their customers saying, if their liquor licenses are revoked, we will stop supply to them. But we can only do this if government lets us know where the breaches have happened in terms of whose licenses have been revoked. So we've appealed to government to say, let's work closer together. We can only support where we get data and where we get information. And it's really important that if, like you're saying, if we don't work together in this holistic approach, where we're not just putting a Band-Aid on the problem in terms of saying there's a ban, because come the 15th of January, and if we have not done anything in this time, we just go back to the point we were at the beginning. And that's not the way to approach this.
Previously, your industry has followed a legal route. I am assuming that you are speaking to your lawyers, and there is at least thought within the sector of possibly challenging this decision.
The alcohol industry, in terms of the major establishments, have not actually undergone a legal route as yet. There were a few wine producers that did consider the legal route. I'm not sure what happened with that matter, but we have not formally undergone the legal route. I do know that there are a few people seeking legal advice currently. I think we were waiting for the announcements today in terms of the gazettes, which have now been published, until we can review this. But, you know, this has always been a last resort for us. There's no time or energy left in this country to be going this way. What we would rather hope for is a consultation with government to say, listen, how do we work together? As I said, how do we not just put Band-Aids on problems, but actually change behavior? all of this has become as a result of complacency of South Africans, not wearing masks, not sanitizing. It's not only alcohol that has resulted in this behavior. It's not only people that are drinking and frequenting drinking establishments that are dying. It's elderly people, it's young people, it's across the board. So it's a bigger problem than just alcohol.
Ms. Pillay, I understand that you have to be strategic and you've got to be delicate in the way in which you handle this, but you're calling for more consultation, yet you have been roundly ignored by government. What gives you optimism this time around?
I think for me, the optimism is that we all need to appreciate that people are dying. That if we don't do this as a country together, then we actually are going to lose this battle. Because if you look at the money that we're losing to the fiscus by this ban, when you look at the initial ban, we lost over 7.4 billion to excise, to the government, that could have been spent on vaccines just from the beer industry alone. Now, when you think of that as government, would you not have rather had that money to be able to buy vaccines for your people? We're really hoping that sanity will prevail, so that rather than spend money on legal fees, etc., surely the government should say, let's work with the industry, rather than us use that energy, because we have people around us that are desperate for vaccines. We need proper interventions. If there's an overload at the hospitals, let's work together. Where are these areas? Let us see that data. Show us which hospitals. And I believe there is that data available. We have requested it. We're hoping to get it. And really, let's have interventions to save lives.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed. Patricia Pillay is the Chief Executive Officer of the Beer Association here in South Africa.